Thanks for joining us this Friday afternoon. Still to come, Jackie Collins on Hollywood scandal and roller coaster novels. Plus, we'll be meeting some of the creatures and critters that are taking over your gardens. But it's a groan from the audience. But now to the industry that's built up following the death of Michael Jackson. It's been 4 months since the singer died, and in the next few weeks, interest in him is set to intensify once again as his estate releases a new single, a new album, launches an exhibition, and premieres a movie at cinemas around the world.
I love you. I really do.
We're family, just know that.
It's estimated that Jackson's estate stands to make a staggering £100 million from the movie alone. But has his death become an opportunity for savvy businessmen and women to simply make more money? Isn't it about time we should let the singer rest in peace? Here to discuss are Caroline Faraday, Kelvin McKenzie and Julie Peasgood. Julie, what's your thoughts on it? Do you think we should let him lie down?
Of course it's about time we let him rest in peace, but it's never, ever going to happen, is it? I mean, this is a star who's programmed to court fame and publicity, you know, from when he was a toddler. He was a legend in his lifetime. I don't actually think he would want to go quietly in his afterlife, to live a low-profile existence.
Kelvin?
Well, I remain fascinated by what actually killed Michael Jackson. I want to know about these drugs, I want to know who administered them, how long he'd been on there, and I want to know that detail. Beyond that, I'm not fantastically interested, although I would say that he is an icon because that Thriller video, done by a film director called Landis, set a style and a piece of magic which has never been replicated and is not going to be replicated. It was stunning. And what was interesting, if you watched Cheryl Cole's dancing on the X Factor, all this stuff going on and everything came absolutely out of Michael Jackson. And actually, whether she can sing or whether she can't sing was not the issue. The choreography of that piece was fantastic, and it is Michael Jackson, one of his legacies. But actually, I am not interested in how much money's made. I don't want to be part of the commercial aspect of his life. He produced some great music, and that's the way I'm going to remember him. I'm not going to remember him by his family simply, you know, gushing out what I think are, by and large, crocodile tears on behalf of
Caroline, it's the irony, it seems to me, is that the man was really getting down to his last dollar, but he was pretty much out of money, and suddenly by his death it's making all this, you know, worth more than he is dead than alive.
I know, I can't help but think nothing would give him more peace than actually seeing the success and the fact that he's back fashionable, successful, everybody loves him, and suddenly we're sitting here having a conversation about his legacy. I mean, Cheryl Cole, that whole outfit was so Michael Jackson, wasn't it? Not just the dancing. The whole thing was so Michael Jackson, and there's a time when that would have been so unfashionable. I could not have been more heartbroken than when Michael Jackson died. I phoned my mum at midnight, and I live in London, so my mum thinks I'm about to be shot or stabbed at any point. And I phoned her at midnight going...
Would you do the same thing if Alan were to drop dead on the show?
That would also...
I mean, it's a good point, isn't it? Different people, different tears, you know, I mean...
We tried to sleep out, and I had to go cry. My mum went, oh, what's happened? What's happened? What's happened? And I went, Michael Jackson's dead. She went, oh, for goodness sakes. Put the phone down, that was it. But I was genuinely heartbroken because I did just love him. And so, you know, you can be cynical about sort of absorbing that and making money out of that. But I just really love, you know, all his work and everything that he's done. And I can't get enough about it. Yeah, I want to see the film. I love the new record. I can't get enough of it.
I think the séance that Derek Acorah is going to have is a séance too far. First of all, very arrogant. The man never gave interviews in life, so why he's going to become more communicative in the afterlife, I don't know. Also, I think the prospect of Derek Acorah doing the moonwalk and speaking in Michael Jackson's voice is going to be very disturbing. It's not going to be a pretty sight.
Actually, I don't really agree with that, because actually, I think Michael Jackson, you say, well, I can't stay long, but would you like to speak to my friend Frank Sinatra, right? I mean, it's going to be fantastic. And by the way, if you've seen Derren Brown, Derek Acora can't be worse than that.
Yeah, I love Derren Brown. I'm a great Derren Brown fan.
I think it's a fantastic thing, the idea that Presley's on one side, Sinatra's on the other, Bing Crosby's coming through
Marilyn
that door.
Monroe's coming back as well.
It's a fantastic piece of showbiz.
This is obviously, presumably, it's a licence for everybody in the retinue, as it were, to print money, really, isn't it, Kyle? Does that get to you at all, or you just don't care? As long as you've got Michael Jackson coming at you from all sides forever now, it's okay.
I think there were so many leeches in his life, anyway, during the time that he was alive, and people who tried to destroy him, and people who just wanted to leech part of that fame. And, you know, where there's a hit, there's a writ, was true never more so than of Michael Jackson. You know, everybody wanted to leech him. So in death, he's now got some peace, he's got some success, he's got a lot of love, and no one complains that the Elvis estate and people going to Gracelands is any bad thing. Yeah, I mean, maybe it is a little bit uncomfortable that they're making money, but they're doing it because people loved him and they loved his work, and it's just a nice opportunity for us to get a bit more of that.
There's been a decent gap, arguably, now, anyway, between Elvis's death and Michael's death. It seems so sudden. But I suppose it was equally instant. You know, you're in the media then, presumably, Kelvin. It was equally instant after Elvis.
Yes, I was around when Fatty Arbuckle was at start.
When the dead sea was just a little bit sick.
So, no, do you remember? You were very young when Elvis died.
I was. Thank you so much. I've only just recovered from it.
So is there nothing, as far as you... I can see that yours is from taste. You don't particularly like the man's work terribly much. But is there any reason why nothing should be allowed, or should everything be allowed, Jim?
No, I mean, I think the good thing is that he's going to be remembered for the musical genius that he was. You know, all of his private life and his strange appearance, that's all, you know, mercifully been kind of wiped away now because of this untimely death. And I think it is good that we remember him for his contribution, unquestionably, to the music.
It's better for those children as well that they get that positive thing, because they really miss their dad, and all this kind of going into their lives of who's the father and what's that and what's those ins and outs, and actually, let's just celebrate his music, celebrate the man. He was brilliant. He was the king of pop.
And nobody's going to argue with that. My thanks to Caroline, Kelvin and Julia. Thank you. Still to come on Friday's AT show, Jackie Collins on how she managed to shift 400 million novels. I'll be dealing with some pesky critters in the AT garden, plus your chance to win £5,000 worth of John Lewis vouchers. We're back in a moment.